Has it ever happened with you that at your office your boss made you do a presentation, but ultimately on the day of the presentation you were not allowed to present it at the board meeting? If it happened with you, did you ever think, why did it happen with you? Why didn't your boss allow you to present it at the board meeting, though he had made you do the presentation, made you prepare the presentation? Yes, there is definitely a reason behind it. It is possibly due to your lack of communication skills, which is very much needed in business. But don't worry, today's lesson will be fruitful for those who want to learn some good phrases, some good business phrases. Hey, I am Kaushik and you are watching Kaushik's Everyday English. And in today's lesson, you are going to learn some fantastic, useful phrases which you can use for business purpose, which you can use at your workplace and speak more eloquently and sound your English smarter and fluent. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Today's first phrase in the list is to weigh up. Now, what does to weigh up mean? It means to consider all possible options. And how would you use it? Let's look at the example. I need to weigh up all options before finalizing the venue for my wedding. That means you want to finalize a venue for your wedding, but before making the final choice, you would like to consider other possible options. If you get some better venue than this one, you want to consider all the options before making your final choice. So instead of saying considering all the options, you can use this phrase to weigh up. Look at the next phrase, stem from the fact. Now, instead of saying that this is the cause of something, we can use this business phrase, stem from the fact. So, it means to talk about the cause of something. To talk about the cause of something. Example, the loss of many people's job stems from the fact that many offices were shut down owing to COVID-19. That means many offices had been shut down due to the pandemic or during the pandemic situation, and that's why that is the cause actually for which many people lost their jobs. So instead of saying it is the cause of, we can use this beautiful business phrase, stem from the fact. Look at the next phrase. This is a very beautiful phrase and my favorite, definitely. Blue sky thinking. Now, what does blue sky thinking means? It means to think out of the box. For example, you could say, he is admired as he is good at blue sky thinking. That means he always thinks out of the box. He is very creative minded. He thinks differently, and that is the reason why he is admired. So in this way you can use this beautiful phrase, blue sky thinking. Look at the next phrase, buy in. Now here when I say buy in, I'm not talking about buying anything, right? So it means to agree with opinion, or if everyone agrees with your opinion, in that case instead of saying agreeing, we can use buy in. Say for example, your friend gave you a proposal, but you didn't agree with it. So at that time, you could tell him, I'm sorry, I can't buy in this proposal of yours. That means I'm very sorry, I can't agree with your proposal. So instead of saying can't agree, you can say I can't buy in this proposal. The next phrase is null and void. Now, what does null and void mean? It means a contract or a clause that is invalid. A contract or a clause means a part of the contract that is invalid. For example, you could say the change in the new rental agreement makes the previous one null and void. That means the new rental agreement that you have made with your landlord, some new clauses have been added due to which the previous agreement has become invalid. So in this way you could use the business phrase null and void. The next phrase in today's list is counter offer. Counter offer. It means an offer made in response to an offer made by another party. Right? That means an offer that is made against another offer. That is called counter offer. For example, you could say when the managing director submitted his resignation, the company made a counter offer. That means when the company came to know that the manager was going to resign, at that point of time the company gave him some offer of a higher salary or of some more facilities, right? So as to prevent him from resigning. So that is called counter offer, an offer that is made in response to another person's offer. So you can start using this business phrase from right now. Look at the next phrase, consensus. Now, what does consensus mean? It means an idea or opinion that's been agreed on by everyone. An idea or an opinion that's been agreed by everyone. For example, at the board meeting, we couldn't reach a consensus on the marketing policy. For example, at the board meeting, the board of directors, they were about to form a marketing policy and they were discussing about the marketing policy, but ultimately they couldn't reach an agreement, right? So that is consensus, an idea or opinion that cannot be agreed or that can be agreed on by everyone. If we can reach a consensus, that means we have agreed on the point, and if we can't reach a consensus, that means we cannot agree on a particular point. So in this way, you can use the phrase or the word consensus. Let's move on to the next phrase, touch base. Now, what does touch base means? It means a short conversation with someone on a topic. Many a times we used to say that I want to have a few words, or I want to have a word with you, or I want to have a brief discourse or conversation with you. So instead of saying all these, you can use this beautiful phrase, touch base. For example, you could say, I need to touch base with you about today's meeting. For example, you are going to have a meeting, and before that, you want to have a very short conversation with your colleague regarding this meeting. So you can say that I want to touch base with you about today's meeting. So friends, this is for today, and I am sure that you have liked today's session, because this session will help you use the business phrases at your workplace, and I'm sure that you will be using these phrases from now onwards. So tomorrow I'll be back again with a new lesson to learn. Till then, stay safe, love your family, love your parents, and love yourself. Bye.